The Norwegian royal family has been in some hot water lately, and I thought it could be interesting discussing some reasons we should and should not just get rid of the entire thing. The biggest reason people are saying we should just end the royal family after the current king dies is that Crown Princess Mette-Marit, who will be Norway's future queen, has been recently revealed to have been friends with sexual assault perpetrator Jeffrey Epstein. The two of them sent a whole bunch of emails to each other over the years, and she even visited his home in Palm Beach. Some of these messages seem kind of flirty in an uncomfortable way, and there's this one where she asks him if naked women would be a good bedroom wallpaper for her underage son. But the most damning email is the one where she admits to having Googled him and presumably found articles about his sexual assault convictions. She has claimed that she does not remember what she found when she Googled him, but researchers have determined that it would have been nearly impossible to Google him at the time without finding anything about his conviction. Even so, some are giving her the benefit of the doubt, saying that she clearly didn't find anything, evidenced by the fact that she continued to keep contact with him, which seems incredibly naive to me. What seems more likely is that he would get ahead of people, warning them what they might find if they googled him, but downplay the reasons for his conviction. The fact that she took him at his word and did not do deeper research on him was dumb, but at least understandable. The media is fairly even-headed when it comes to Mette-Marit. They cover everything, but is often very understanding of her, and gives her a lot of benefit of the doubt. Especially because of her lung condition, which I'm sure was public knowledge before this all blew up, but I can't say I had ever heard about it. Now it's impossible not to. I can't help but think that the Norwegian media, especially celebrity gossip magazines, get a lot out of covering the Norwegian royal family, and might not want the monarchy to end simply because of that. And then there's the sexual assault allegations toward Mette-Marit's now adult son, the one she was getting wallpaper for earlier. He is not technically royal, being born before Mette-Marit met the Crown Prince, although he has obviously benefited greatly from his status as the son of the future Queen of Norway. Currently, I have not yet heard the outcome of the trials, but in a completely separate ruling, the Supreme Court of Norway has recently lowered the punishment for sexual assault. We of course can't hold Mette-Marit responsible for what her grown adult son does. But this video isn't really about her, it's about whether we should have a royal family after all of this at all. I really debated whether or not I should even use this crown in this video, and if it might seem as disrespectful towards the victims. But I think it serves to illustrate how horrible it is that we have to talk about princes and princesses and kings and queens in two completely separate sexual assault cases. But it's not just the Crown Princess people have an issue with. The Crown Princess' sister, Martha Louise, has long been viewed by people as a swindler and opportunist, especially around her angel school, where people were taught how to contact angels. For money, of course. And a few years ago she married Durek, who calls himself a shaman. He claims he can cure cancer with energy, and that kind of stuff is just exploiting desperate people for money. When people were critical to him when they first got together, they were accused of racism. And while I'm absolutely sure there was some of that going around, that was not what most people had an issue with him and the princess about. And then there's also general accusations about corruption and mismanagement of taxpayer money. There have been recurring debates regarding how much the royal family spends on private travel and the lack of transparency in their private finances. And several investigations and reports have revealed that public funds were used for the maintenance and renovation of the Crown Prince's privately owned properties. For years, palace staff paid by the state, including gardeners and cleaners, were used to maintain the Crown Prince's private properties. Reports indicated that taxpayers were picking up the bill for private employees, with palace staff even being assigned tasks like maintaining Princess Märtha Louise's swimming pool. In 2002, the state justified paying 18 million Norwegian kroner for renovations to the prince's home, arguing it was necessary to provide the heir with a satisfactory residence. And in 2016, it was discovered that the Crown Prince had earned roughly 1.4 million Norwegian kroner in rental income from private flats on his estate, while the palace budget, funded with taxpayer money, continued to cover the property's operating and maintenance costs. But what's the solution? Surely we can't just get rid of the entire institution. Don't we need them? There's an old video by one of my favorite YouTubers, CGP Grey, about the benefits of having a British royal family. And there's a response video to this video by the YouTuber Sean, another one of my favorites, talking about the many reasons why he thinks they shouldn't have a monarchy anymore. CGP Grey argues that the British monarchy is a profitable arrangement, generating more revenue for the state than it costs to maintain. He contends that the institution drives significant tourism revenue and provides economic benefits to taxpayers, acting as a royal brand that a republic could not easily replicate. Sean challenges the idea that the monarchy is a net financial benefit. He argues that tourism in the UK is driven by historical sites, like castles and palaces, rather than the presence of a living monarch, pointing to France, a republic with a significantly higher tourism revenue, as proof that you don't need a king to sell tickets to a palace. Norway's tourism is even less linked to the monarchy, being way more focused on our beautiful nature and culture. So I don't really think we need to worry much about this. Sean also suggests that the monarchy reinforces a rigid class hierarchy and infantilizes the nation by promoting ideas that some people are inherently superior by birth, and points out the absurdity of golden carriages and multi-million-pound ceremonies occurring during cost of living crises. I don't think we have as much of a problem with these aspects as the British have, but it's not a non-issue either. What could be the biggest reason Norwegians don't want to get rid of the royal family is because of tradition, particularly surrounding the National Day of Norway on the 17th of May. Every year, thousands of children participate in parades all over the country, and in Oslo the parade goes past the palace, where the royals stand waving at the children for hours. It's a big deal for the kids, and the entire parade is also televised to the rest of the country. But it feels a bit iffy to me now, knowing how involved some of those waving at the children have been to people who repeatedly assaulted minors. But what are the alternatives? Having elected officials wave? That feels boring and outright non-Norwegian, and would serve to make a day that is supposed to bring us together into a political event. Seems like something America would do. Maybe we could just have Norwegian pop culture characters up there. The event is mostly for children anyway, so why not? Get Captain Sabretooth in there. But my favorite idea is to create a fictional royal family. A king, queen, prince and princess. Have costumes but have different actors wear them each year. Pay them well, but don't let them gain any power through the position. Nobody is allowed to hold a position more than once. I feel like that both keeps it fun, but is also aspirational. Now, most of the children walking past the balcony will never have a chance to stand there. But with this system, they might. Did you like this new format? I'm usually not on camera, so I hope I did okay with this. I'd love to hear what you think about this, and about this whole case in general. I'll see you down in the comments.